radio. Shout it.
Khujo Goody.
Yes, sir.
He lost the leg.
Yes.
It was a big thing.
Yeah.
How were you? Were you there for him? What was that like in between? All of you guys when that happened. Did that draw you guys closer together?
It definitely did.
And how did y'all get through that as a unit?
And see, I tell you, man, like I won't, and I think it's well documented, man, that we had. Some indifference. I'm saying, like,
Right.
we brothers, man.
All groups
we
do.
men.
Right.
All groups do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we weren't really on the best of speaking terms during that time. You know what I mean? Like, but really because everybody was grinding in different directions, man. Because if one thing is defaulted, it's like, okay, shit, man, what's the next play? Like, let me figure out, what I'm saying, like, what my move gonna be. So there was a lot of that, a lot of circumstantial reasons of why we weren't really talking like we would normally communicate. But always brothers, you know what I'm saying, you feel me? But when the situation happened with Joe, man, it wasn't nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, like on deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, man, that shit bothered me too, because the image come up in my mind, man, of seeing the homie, you know what I mean, like, incapacitated like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to really gauge his pain. He looked like Joe. I don't know if he was, I don't know if he was sedated or what have you, or just still in shock.
Right.
But he looked as strong as he always looked. Just like when you see him now, like he be stomping through here, man, like he got both legs. Like,
Right.
I can't even tell.
Right.
I forget sometimes. That's how resilient
Right.
he is. And we've all been met with challenges and things of that nature. But like, man, shit, man, I gotta salute the big homie, man, because like that's a whole nother kind of strength. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I can't imagine. Like, I remember watching my mom when she was paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being young and trying to lay in the bed and almost pretend, trying to fathom what it would feel like to not have any mobility.
Right.
And you can't do it. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So the big homie, man, like, he got all my respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Songs like "Fuck You." When that thing went crazy and it hit YouTube and it went all the way up through there, what was going through your mind at that time, Ceelo?
I'll tell you, that's another thing. Remember I told you how I got there? It's not by taking myself too seriously. All right, so we was doing Lady Killer. I went all around the world to get that album, right? They gave me a blank check, an open budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, pop budget. So I'm like, I'm going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm not feeling Miami. I don't know. They're like, anything you want, buddy, just come back with that record. So I went to Miami. We lived down there for the summer. Went out to the Bahamas. Went to London. I recorded that album all over the world. And I still wasn't coming with the record. So when I got to L.A., I was living at this, I'm going to shout them out too, living at this hotel called the Sunset Marquis. And the reason why is because they got the studio in the basement. I mean, so this is like real rock star, sanctity over there, man. Like,
Exactly.
all, the walls are just covered with, all of the people that walk through the doors and live there, all the famous bands and what have you.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's real vintage California. So anyway, the big homie Mike Karen, he, then A&R, at Atlantic Records, he introduced me to Phil and Bruno. You know what I'm saying? Like, now this Bruno ended up becoming Bruno Mars, but he wasn't Bruno Mars.
Damn.
They were introduced as Phil and Bruno. So Phil Lawrence was his writing partner, and they called themselves the Smeezingtons. So it's that crew of when they be doing the whole dance stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's his homeboy. But anyway, so they came over to the studio. This was my first time really opening up and like, okay, I work with him. I don't know him. I'm saying, like, it was a little awkward the first time. I told this story a few times, and I was like, yo, I'll be back and go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I went upstairs, and I never came back. I just left him down there. You know what I'm saying? But all was forgiven. We ended up becoming, like, really good friends. Such great guys, so talented, so cool, right? So then it was like, okay, this time you come over to our spot. I'm like, all right, oh y'all that. Went over to their spot, and he had the idea. So it was just a bum, 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 bum. He was like, I got this hook. He was like, ride around town with the girl I love. It was like, fuck you or forget you or bump you, ignore you. You know what I'm saying? We're still trying to work out because he didn't know if he could say fuck you. I'm like, nah, man, I say fuck you because the storyline aside, I took the energy, the genuine energy of the song came from you wanting to get dropped from the label. You know what I mean? I was like, so a part of me felt like it was ridiculous enough for them to be like, you know what, he don't give a fuck, man. Like, don't about your business. You know what I'm saying? So, because I couldn't please him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And lo and behold, bruh, just the record, man. It went crazy. Like, so we ended up having to go to London to go do some promo. And Gip was with me, you know what I'm saying? So we got on the plane. Y'all know it's 8 hours of London from LA. When we got there, that shit was a hit record. So reason why I still so cool, man, because like, some of that shit happened so fast, I ain't get a chance to get no ego. It just happened too quick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's just like,
How did you deal with being a damn mega star though too, Ceelo? I mean, when you go from, your humble beginnings, Southwest Atlanta, then you look up and you can't go no damn well without nobody going crazy. Your face, when Ceelo walk in the room, damn well that Ceelo just walked in there.
Traffic one time. I was in traffic, and I saw him walk across the street on P Street, coming from a restaurant.
I remember that.
You remember that?
It used to be. It was Bridgetown.
I yelled like Ceelo.
I said, "Damn, gangsta win."
Ceelo. Yeah, he stopped traffic, man.
Check this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, just being young, to feel, unique and it's something unique about you. Like, you ain't really figured yourself out yet. You know what I mean? So, I had made to, I went from being made to feel, like, and looking peculiar to end up being one of the most recognizable motherfuckers you never seen. So, like, I'm glad I can make a legitimate living, man, because if I had to goddamn get my hand dirty, I couldn't get away with shit.